Hey guys, welcome back to the Studley vlog. Today we are heading out to the Lakefire over in Lake Hughes. Now me and my buddy Leo headed out. Now I've seen some crazy fires, but this was by far the biggest plume of smoke I've ever seen. I could see it from my house, which is about 85 miles away. It was nuts. Within the first hour, it had burned over 6,000 acres of land, which is just insane. It was spreading so fast. Now this smoke was like insane. It was probably like 2 or 3 miles high, and it was just going and going and going. And it was like pluming out crazy. We decided to take the back way in, which took us a bit further, but it ended up being the best choice because we were able to come in around the fire and not drive directly through the fire, which is very helpful. Because there was so much smoke in the air, the lighting started to change, and so it just made this insanely like beautiful landscape, but also very like sad. So I started to document that. And what else better than to document that than with my Hasselblad 500cm. Now I had loaded in some FOMA 100. Normally I wouldn't use FOMA 100 for something like this, but it ended up working out perfect because of the way that it renders the different tones with the sky. What is that? We started heading down the road back towards the fire, and it was just a pretty intense drive, and we were just looking at this giant plume, and it was just moving so fast with just tons of smoke erupting from it. We arrived on scene, and the fire was on the other side of the hill, and you could just see it coming up over, and so we started just taking pictures. I noticed this windmill sitting out in this field, and it was just sitting there. It wasn't moving or anything, but you'll see in a later clip, once the fire came over the hill, it was just spinning like crazy because the fire creates its own weather, and basically it was like a tornado out there. So we ran into a couple of our buddies, Shane and Justin, and the fire trucks were just coming in like crazy. They're coming in from all over California to help fight this fire. Started to come over the edge of the hill. As you could see, the smoke got very, very dark. And once it did, it just started getting super windy and got pretty crazy. The smoke was so thick that it started to block the sun, so everything just started going dark, and it was honestly one of the craziest atmospheres I've been in. It felt like I was on set of like a movie from like the 30s. It was nuts. like.
What's your vlog?
It's called Studley Vlog.
Studley Vlog, okay.
Oh shoot.
Ooh, look at that, look at the sun.
Something cool is that these planes come and they drop a line of powder, and then the big giant tanker comes in and drops all the fire retardant. And one of these drops costs about $86,000. That's $86,000 per drop. You'll notice that these fire trucks are heading out, and that is because they're heading back down the road to go help with structure defense and making sure that homes are saved. So you might be wondering, Brandon, why are you out shooting all these like crazy fires? Well, about 2 years ago during the WILDFIRE, my house almost burned down. It got about 3 houses away, and we were evacuated for about 10 days. And ever since then, I've just kind of been fascinated with fire. The destruction of it is so sad, but it's also one of the most interesting things I've ever seen. So that's why I go out and I document these fires and try to bring a positive light to the fire without just making it like about destruction and everything burning. I hope that makes sense. So we got back in our car and actually headed towards the fire because we wanted to get some more shots. So a quick tip, if you're ever at a fire or you're near one, park your car with it going away from the fire so that way if something happens, you can quickly jump in your car and drive off and you're not stuck flipping a U-turn. So they had us move back about a half mile down the road just to be safe. And so we were kind of just chilling at the roadblock, watching everything go down.
Lomography, yeah. We are to evacuate this area about a half mile to your east.
So we were pushed back a little bit further, about 1.5 miles down the road, and there was honestly way too much media here. There was probably at least 75 to 100 different people just shooting for the news. So it was pretty jammed up, and that's why the sheriff was pushing us back.
There's a lot of us.
Yeah.
So about 5 minutes later, the fire jumped on the other side of the road that we were on. So it was on the left and the right of us coming towards us. And it was just burning so fast. So we found a place to park and we're just chilling, waiting for the fire to come towards us. And it was moving pretty quick and it reached us in about 5 minutes. But before that, I had taken a photo of this mountain, which was on our right, and it ended up turning into a giant hill of fire. You'll see in a second. Pushed this way for a very good reason, and it's just so I noticed that the fire was spreading on the right side, which was on this hill that was right on our side, and I noticed it and was like, okay, gotta keep an eye on that. And within like a minute or two, the whole thing was up in flames. You normally see some pretty intense things at fires, but this by far tops it all. I've never been near a tornado either, so this was just kind of crazy. The hill ended up catching fire, and the whole thing was up in flames within a minute.
It's right here, it's right here. It's right here.
Yeah.
Wow. Get around these guys. You want to park right here, or you want to pull up a little more?
Let's pull over.
All right, right behind this guy. Watch the road, right in front of the Explorer. Be careful. Keep the car started, okay?
No, let's go.
Leo.
That was a fire-nado. You see how powerful that was?
Yeah,
Did you get that on video?
I think so.
Oh my god. Oh my god, that's a fire-nado.
The crazy thing is that with that fire tornado, you could barely even hear what it really sounded like because the audio on the cameras wasn't able to pick it up. But it was just so loud, so much wind going, and yeah, it was honestly insane. The fire continued to burn and got close to some homes, and we were kind of just waiting to see if it was going to kick back up again. tree was on fire, and because there was no fire trucks around or water tenders, they just let it burn. Yeah, it's ready. So the fire started on August 12th at about 3:38 p.m. and it burned until September 28th when it was fully contained. Lakefire ended up burning over 31,000 acres of land. That's like 31,000 football fields. There was 12 structures destroyed and 21 outbuildings, and there was 4 firefighters that got injured.